Here we go. Let's see. All right. I'm never sure of the South Carolina internet. It's the one thing New York has over South Carolina. Better internet connection.
I don't show anything. Oh boy.
You're not showing anything
Well, I mean, I have it.
as far as internet connection? Well, let's see. Either it was a scam or they really did take down my page because we're at 0. Hi, honey. Well, we're at 1. Well, you know what I should do right now?
You should start the show.
Okay.
Who the hell cares?
That's a liberal.
It's like saying, would you rather have wine or water?
Wine, a half inch means a lot sometimes.
Nobody likes to eat crow. Right.
Now I'm starving.
How much is the economy today? It's that much.
This pumpkin latte sucks, and I want to speak to your manager.
Objection, hearsay. Objection, leading. Objection, hearsay.
Where is that woman when Biden speaks?
Get out of here. His name is pronounced Joni. And that's the end of it.
Well, whether or not Facebook is banning us, we have our OGs with us. Say hi, Grandma.
Grandma. I'm trying to shoot.
And Lucille is with us. Hi, Lucille. Beautiful Lucille. And the infamous Bobby Dutcher is with us. He has to watch it from his phone again. And our author, our in-house author, Martin Lee. Oh, here he is. And everybody buy Martin Lee's book. Remember, it's really good stuff. And Ralph Rubinick is with us. Hi, Ralph. And Andrew Dorman. Good to see you, Andrew. Good to go. Got it. Work. Oh, good. Excellent. All right. So our regular troops are here. That's great. Oh, Debbie, our in-house comedian. How are you, Ms. Lebedo? Good to see you. Our friend Scott Lebedo went to go answer his summons for his pizza tossing at City Hall.
Yeah. What happened?
Well, they dragged him into court, so he had to get a lawyer, and he's got to go back at the end of August.
But if you stab somebody, you can be out on a desk appearance ticket. Okay.
Well, that's your mayor in New York City. He's not my mayor anymore. That's it.
Not my mayor.
Hello, Professore. Good to see you. And Susan's with us. Hi, Susan. Good to see you.
Hi, Susan.
Let's see. And okay, we got Susan. Why he was feeding pigeons? That's not a crime. Yes, that's the official party line. Let's all toe it. He was feeding pigeons. More power to Scott. Exactly. Well, tonight's show is going to be more of a SHIT show than ever because Jen, my computer conked out. I couldn't cut video. It was crazy. I figured out a way to.
You guys are in for a wonderful treat tonight. If you're not always in for a treat.
Kakalaki lady. Oh, is that what we are? Kakalaki lady. Okay, so to get Jennifer in the mood, I thought we have a bunch of serious stuff to talk about, obviously. But to get her in the mood, we're going to start her off with some of the great little tidbits I took off the internet so that we could all see what's going on in the world. So, Jen, let's see. Should I get your blood boiling or should I make you laugh? Which one? Let me get your. Well, let's start by showing you this whole electric vehicle fad that's going on. Let's just show everybody what's really happening, right? All these sexy car commercials for electric vehicles and the lunatic left telling us to trade in our gas guzzlers for electric vehicles. Well, this is a dose of reality. Watch.
Man, I'm here at the gas station. Everybody, look at all these Teslas. Oh, we're going to get me a Texter, trade in my gas burner to get, son of a gun. Look at this line. They're all waiting to get charged up. Are you guys kidding? You traded in your gas car for this? Hello? Oh, smoke another one. Go get them. Man, poor people. Oh, 4 hour late. Son of a gun. I'm going to put gas in my little Toyota.
Makes you want to run right out and get an electric vehicle, huh?
Those are annoying.
Well, I mean, and you have to sit there for half an hour to charge. So
Yeah. When we go to work in the Hamptons, when Joe and I have to go down there, we have to stop for an hour in a parking lot and just sit there. It's like, I'm like, this is ridiculous.
well,
You get lost.
yeah, so
Then what?
I'm going on a 10-hour trip to South Carolina. Oh no, wait, I've got to sit for another half hour every 100 miles so that I can charge my electric.
If they're smart, they make a backup battery that you can charge it on and then put it in the car.
Well, your father had the right idea. His idea was
Don't get an electric car.
yeah, right, not get an electric car. That's the best idea. He said, put photovoltaics up on the roof. My friend lives in Maui, Hawaii with electric car and no electricity. Oh, our prayers, thoughts and prayers to everybody on Maui. That was a crazy fire. But yeah, they couldn't even get out, right? With no electricity. Makes me want to buy one. Yeah, exactly. Well, you'll get very cozy with your local charging station, I guess. It's crazy stuff. But yeah, so that's the side that they don't show you, right? When they say we want everybody to convert to
Well,
gas.
they're lazy. They have an hour to just sit there and do nothing.
Well, they can smoke pot. Which is just everywhere. I can't believe it. Do you still ride horses as your main mode of transportation? Really? It would go faster, and you have to stop to water it less times, Larry. Yeah. Okay. Lithium plus water equals no mix. Yeah. Well, that's true. And we've seen how many of them have already exploded. All right, let's see. What else did I want to show you, Jen? Where's my girl? All right. So a lot of people we're talking about all kinds of different genders, right? Transgender, pansexual, trisexuals, all that stuff. So I thought that it would be really interesting if, right now the lefty libs don't even know what the definition of a woman is. They know what a definition of a man is.
Poor man.
Well, but why is woman so hard to define, I wonder? I mean, it blows my mind that we can't define a woman, but it's easy to define a man. But what I thought I'd do was I was going to give everybody an education. This is the basis of the differences between men and women. But first, I'm going to go back to a couple of these comments. Hold on. Like carbon dioxide, CO2 is killing our planet. Plant life use CO2 to produce oxygen. Liberals want to end CO2 emissions. I know, it makes no sense. It's like, follow the science. No, throw the science out the window. Do Trumpers have tanks, attack helicopters, and missiles?
I don't think Larry's our friend.
Larry's on the show, so it doesn't matter. Or does the woke military? I don't know.
The
which one.
military are wearing skirts with penises. They're all soldiers. That's what they have. They have weapons of mass destruction in their pants under the skirt.
Very good. I missed my bell. I got to find out what I do with my bell. Oh my God. Excellent. Yes, exactly. Well, let's see. Here's an example of how men and women's brains are different. Okay. So watch this.
Dante do his shit like.
That is how I hang every picture in this house. Only I don't use the remote as a hammer. I use my high heel. So if anybody asks the question, what, define a woman or what's the difference between a man and a woman? Well, there you go.
Oh, don't let me touch the buttons and stuff, because now look, I was commenting to Larry, and now there's a million comments.
How long would it attack helicopter to spill your MAGA blood? Well, Larry, I don't know how long it would take.
It would take that long.
That long. That's right.
How long would it take you to put your photo and real name on your thing while you're being a keyboard warrior, Larry?
Let them talk. The problem with the lefty libs is that they're trolls. That's all they know how to do. They don't know how to engage in conversation. Psychologically speaking, has to do with pitcher and catchers. Oh God! Oh, all the rest is you, huh, Jen? Oh, Aunt Santa is here. Hi, Santa.
Poles and holes. That's it.
Okay. Well, Larry, you are proving yourself to be everything we know lefty libs to be, a big idiot. So thanks for joining us, and that's great. Wonderful that you are commenting and giving our show the traction that it needs in the algorithm. So thank you. Very, very good. The left brain batteries have exploded. Exactly. All right. Well, talking about lefty libs and how they have destroyed our country, I thought that today we would talk a little bit about. We'll give our Fauci Award winner out today, and today it's going to Nancy Pelosi, because unwittingly Nancy did just what Joe Biden did with the Ukraine and getting rid of the prosecutor in the Ukraine who was after his son, and he bragged about holding back the money from Obama if they didn't get rid of that prosecutor. Nancy seems to have put her foot in her mouth as well, as she described to everybody how they make a non-story into a story to smear somebody. So here's our Fauci Award today.
The Fauci Award for Gullible People.
We call it the wrap-up smear. If you want to talk politics, call it the wrap-up smear. You smear somebody with falsehoods and all the rest, and then you merchandise it. And then you write it, and they'll say, see, it's reported in the press that this, and this. So they have that validation that the press reported the smear, and then it's called the wrap-up smear. Now I'm going to merchandise the press's report on the smear that we made. And it's a tactic, and it's self-evident. But I think I'm worth the trouble, quite frankly. I love the fray. I'm not disrespectful of people's views. I respect any positive things that people want to say, or even negative, as long as it's constructive. But when it's blatantly self-serving and beyond the normal competition that the press so enjoys focusing on, instead of, wouldn't it be better if all the press were focusing on opportunity? I love it. Thank you.
46. Was she like 400?
So I get, she might have been talking about Nancy there, Larry there, huh? Let me see. Liberals contribute 70% of the yearly GDP. Wow, isn't that good? Mostly, I would say that if you talk to Americans, working Americans, I would say that most of them are not liberal, Larry. Most of them aren't. Yes, well, you know what? Everybody deserves their opportunity. Oh, conservatives are mostly poor and dependent. Okay. Yeah, Larry, keep going. You're making our algorithm go through the roof. Okay. Okay. Can you make one statement without regurgitating right stream media narratives? Can you make a statement without regurgitating lunacy? Okay, you make a statement that makes sense. Sound familiar? Yeah, sound familiar. Okay, so let's see. Oh, I'm loving Larry. Trumpers literally turn to their politics and religion for excuse for not applying themselves better in life. Well, there, Larry, you told us. Boy, oh boy. What was that?
We figured us out. Only took 3 seconds.
You shut us up. We're gonna pack up our tents and go home.
Shitty podcast. Just end it.
Because Larry doesn't like us. Total so far is 91 separate times Trump indicted, double jeopardy.
Husband's money doesn't count, he said. Oh, Larry.
Well, talk about the Trump indictment. Jen, did you, well, you know that Trump was indicted by Jack Smith last week. And every time something happens with the Biden crime family, there's suddenly another Trump indictment. And so Jack Smith actually decided that one of the charges was going to be, he was going to use the RICO Act, which is organized crime. Okay, so basically what they're saying is Trump, Giuliani, New Yorkers, right? They're taking that old New York stereotype and saying that Trump is part of the Cosa Nostra.
The politics of organized crime, just so you know.
Yeah, they're using that. So let's take a look at Jack Smith's record, and this comes from CNN.
Might Jack Smith's case, or perhaps cases, against former President Trump hold up at trial? Between 2010 and 2015, Smith led the DOJ's public integrity unit of about 30 prosecutors investigating public corruption cases of politicians and others. Among Smith's more notable prosecutions, Democratic Senator and Vice Presidential candidate John Edwards on campaign finance law violations over payoffs to the woman with whom he'd been having an affair, and a bribery case against Democratic Senator Robert Menendez over unreported gifts from a friend in exchange for influence. Both those cases resulted in hung juries and mistrials. Smith's team did secure a conviction against Republican Congressman Rick Renzi of Arizona for extortion, bribery, insurance fraud, money laundering, and racketeering. In 2021, President Trump pardoned Renzi. My next guest, former Virginia Governor Bob McDonnell, has a distinctly personal perspective on Smith. In 2014, Smith prosecuted him on charges of bribery, and a jury convicted McDonnell on 11 corruption-related felony counts, but the conviction was later overturned unanimously by the Supreme Court. The case concerned McDonnell and his wife accepting more than $175,000 worth of loans and gifts from a businessman seeking the state's help in researching a dietary supplement. Chief Justice John Roberts wrote the court's opinion and said that the prosecution had taken a, quote, boundless interpretation of the federal bribery statute about what constitutes an official act. Former Governor of Virginia, Bob McDonnell, joins me now. Governor, thank you for being here. So you, John Edwards, Robert Menendez, all failed prosecutions. What's the common denominator, if any, as it relates to Jack Smith?
Well, Michael, thanks for having me on. Jack Smith, Harvard educated, good career as a tough prosecutor, decisive. But those 5 years during the time he was head of the public integrity section of DOJ, you just chronicled some of the cases with Menendez and the former vice presidential candidate John Edwards. Also the lowest learner, he was giving advice to perhaps go after conservative groups for IRS matters.
So the guy that's prosecuting Trump for the DOJ, and he brought him up on the RICO Act too. He brought others up on racketeering charges as well, and all of those convictions, save for one, were overturned by higher courts or ended up in no conviction at all. Two of them ended up in no conviction, but he's notorious for going for bringing bad cases that are later overturned or that don't convince a jury of the guilt of the people. And and he uses extreme tactics to do so. And we're seeing this with the Trump indictments as well. We're seeing that he's using those same old standards once again. But the interesting thing about him him using that RICO Act is yesterday, well, at midnight, it was actually today in the middle of the night. Fannie Willis of Georgia also brings Trump up, and she's indicted 19. The grand jury indicted 19 people, and guess what the charges were? Racketeering. So they're trying to smear New Yorkers, especially with these racketeering charges, because they say everybody got together in a conspiracy. But the interesting question, I guess, is if they're all using the same terminology to indict Trump, isn't that a conspiracy? So that's the question on the table right now. Our narrative is truth. The truth has been called a narrative by the left. Oh, okay. We're arguing with Larry. Trump will go to prison. Gravy Seals will.
Larry needs glasses.
All right. Let's see.
Larry doesn't exist.
He's apoplectic. He's
transpolitical. He's transpolitical.
He's transpolitical. Well, what the hell is he doing here?
Politics. Relax there.
Yeah, you got the wrong show. Yeah. Oh, that's not very.
Why? Because this is not the place you'd find one.
Is he calling us retards? Is that what he's doing?
Yeah, he called us a retard.
Oh, well, thank you. The algorithms are off the chart. Thank you, Larry, so much. Are in the White House.
Now, MAGA.
What's that?
I said, I can't wait till we get that endorsement now from MAGA because our numbers.
No, I don't need a tapeworm. I don't need a Cambridge Analytica tapeworm. Thank you very much. Okay. Politics in general is supposed to keep monarchy at bay. Yeah, you would think so, Professor. You would think that that's what's supposed to happen. But I don't know. I mean, I woke up this morning and I felt like we were in an authoritarian country. I mean, where else do you go after your prime political opponent and try to put them in jail? Pakistan, Cuba, China, Russia, all those places. How bright of you to assume that everyone that doesn't resonate with you believes is a lefty. I don't think anybody assumed that, Larry. Very hard to but you were the one who was defending liberals. Very hard to overturn RICO convictions. The Virginia governor got overturned in court, in Supreme Court, and he was on racketeering. She's another one reaching. Yeah, she is, and we're going to have that in a minute. Georgia law, governor cannot pardon Trump. Absolutely. Let's see. Civil war is coming, and by the amount of insulin purchased by red counties, MAGA won't last a month. Okay. Absolutely, is a conspiracy, but there's no doubt about it. Supreme Court papers in Georgia were leaked, another crime. Yes. Well, it's amazing how so much is leaking out. We had things that have never leaked before are leaking. The interesting thing is that the Supreme Court papers are leaking. The charges against Trump were leaked. They were actually up on the website while the grand jury was still deliberating. They put the counts up on the Georgia website and then took them back down. But Trump is not allowed to answer, speak about the charges, but the prosecutor is. So where does that happen? Yeah. Okay. Larry is apparently a troll. Yeah. Well, Larry, he needs help. Larry is lonely, and that's okay.
Larry's mom didn't come home from work yet. He hasn't had his pot pie.
Yeah, he's driving up our algorithm, so we're very appreciative. Politics never fix a thing. No, government never fixes a thing. Ray J, politics helps. I'm not quite sure what that is. The fix was in. Yeah, it was. And so let's take a look at the district attorney, Fannie Willis. Let me just fix this up here. Troll is code for you don't have an intelligent rebuttal.
Is that it? I didn't take troll code this week, so I don't know.
Trolls are fine. Okay, here's district the Attorney General of Georgia.
Today, based on information developed by that investigation, a Fulton County grand jury returned a true bill of indictment, charging 19 individuals with violations of Georgia law arising from a criminal conspiracy to overturn the results of the 2020 presidential election in this state. Every individual charged in the indictment is charged with one count of violating Georgia's Racketeer, Influenced, and Corrupt Organizations Act through participation in a criminal enterprise in Fulton County, Georgia, and elsewhere to accomplish the illegal goal of allowing Donald J. Trump to seize the presidential term of office beginning on January 20th, 21. As you examine the indictment, you will see acts that are identified as overt acts and those that are identified as predicate acts, sometimes called acts of racketeering activity.
So so the party line is now racketeering. So that's where they're going to go with. That's what their main driver is. That is designed specifically to put Trump and anybody who was there on January 6th, anybody who questioned the election or to put everybody off so that nobody questions elections again. And the question that I have is what's that?
I said, so you can't question anything in life. You're not allowed to question. You're told what you're told, and you're supposed to just listen.
Absolutely. You're not allowed. America somehow went from being a country where Pelosi questioned elections, Al Gore questions elections, Hillary Clinton questioned elections. I mean, we've had electors withhold their votes. We've had Congress people say that they wanted to hold up the Electoral College.
I'm reading this right now, and this is CNN saying Hillary Clinton just floated the possibility of contesting the 2016 election. Clinton opens doors, as another CNN, to questioning legitimacy of the 2016 election. Yep. So she questioned it.
Absolutely. But the new world order is this. The new world order is that we're not going to rely on fair elections anymore. What we're going to rely on now is exactly what Pelosi said earlier: smear campaigns. We are going to now focus on utilizing all the tools in the bag, including the media, to elect the chosen people, whether they're Republican or Democrat, the swamp, let's say, those people from the swamp, and Americans are going to have to stand by and take it. Because if you question an election, and again, whether it's a Democrat or Republican election, I mean, we know here that the swamp runs deep. There are as many Republicans in this cabal as there are Democrats. And so what they're doing is they're priming our society now to never question any elections anymore, to never question the process, to say the almighty government, the swamp, has this in hand and they will take care of you. And it's just showing you now, it's blatant. And as long as we have people like Larry who are out there drinking the Kool-Aid and being spoon-fed the BS, we are in a really bad place in America right now because they're keeping people unintelligent, they're keeping them uneducated, they're keeping them high, they're keeping them non-functioning in a workplace, dependent on government for everything. And when you do that, then you can't. Your instinct is not to bite the hand that feeds you.
And you can't even question Twitter anymore. You're not allowed.
You're not allowed. You're not allowed to have that debate. You're not allowed to have that question. And even, even now, I'm sure that we're going to get hit again for talking about, elections and the questioning of elections, as we always do on social media. But this platform was supposed to be made so that people can actually have conversations, both sides, and be able to, share information, share intellect, share positions, debate. But social media has cut that ability off. And J6 has now become, the worst situation ever in the history of America, according to the Swamp, which is the Washington Insiders, and the media and social media are upholding that. So this group here is going to use Donald Trump or trying to use Donald Trump as a in olden days when, let's just say in England, they would make an example of you. They draw and quarter you, and they put your head on a pole, and it would scare the masses into following the king's orders, or otherwise that would happen to them. And that is exactly what's happening to Donald Trump right now. It is a conspiracy against him. It's not working. Every time they indict him, his poll numbers go up. So what's left? What's left? Because they can't fool, right, with the election process, because everybody's watching, right? So that's not a possibility. They can fool with the media, because the media is, individually owned, and they can do whatever they want. So they can fool with the media, and they can keep sending out this message. As Nancy said, you're smeared, and then the media writes about it, and then it becomes fact. And that's what's happening right now. And everybody needs to be privy to this. Okay, so we missed a lot of commentary, mostly from Larry, but that's okay. Let's see.
Yeah, he read that the Tucker Carlson, whatever. But
okay, okay. Martin, that's a whole gaggle of charges to face and court appearances to make while you're running for office. Geez. Well, and they have to do it. Martin, the whole thing is that she's planning to do all 19 trials before the November 2024 election. So, I mean, that in of itself is interesting. I mean, they've waited now. We're almost 3 years in, and these charges are just coming now. Why? It's a political game. It's a posture. It's a campaign. Larry, it's time to be a gentleman and not an idiot. Well, you know what? Not everybody is a gentleman, Mom. Wasn't Larry that brother with other brother Larry?
Larry's my other brother, Larry.
Okay.
Do you guys even know the 2,000 police officers were hurt during BLM? 2,000 of them. How many police officers were hurt during January 6th? How many?
Well, nobody talks about that, because that's not part of it.
74 were declared riots. Out of the 8,700 of protests there were, 7% of the violence came from 7%, but 574 were declared riots. What happened to anybody?
What happened to anybody? Hello, Howard Zim. Hello, Deneen Borelli says her father was a Black Panther. Okay, really?
The Black Panthers were they were a group.
Black Panthers were a radical group fighting for Black rights during the Civil Rights Movement. Looks like Michelle is getting ready to make her move on the White House. Yeah, that's what they're saying now. That it's Michelle. What a joke! Release Giuliani. He will show you who the criminals really are. Well, the lumping Giuliani in there just further goes towards that whole racketeering, New York mobster kind of scenario that they're trying to paint. In other words, a yoke who votes for President Trump are acting in concert to overthrow government and therefore racketeered, influenced, and committed felonies. I get it. The gulag is next. It's perfect, Ralph, because that's exactly what it is. Trump has lost 68 election interference cases. You're insane. Okay. Well, dear, Larry, I hope you're right and I'm wrong. For the good of the nation, I pray that you're right and I'm wrong. Because you know why? If I'm right and you're wrong, this nation is going down a path that will take us to a place that doesn't even resemble the United States of America anymore. So, for all of our sakes, I will pray that Larry is the smartest person on this forum tonight and that everything you say is right and that Trump is going down and Biden is the greatest guy ever with 81 million votes, the highest votes ever, and he's the greatest and he's going to lead this country, and I'm the lunatic and all the MAGAs are the lunatic. Because if you're right, then that means that there's hope for America. But if I'm right, that means all of you out there who are following like sheep are helping to take this country to become Cuba, Venezuela, Russia, China, because they're at the door, my friend. Fanny is an African name. Fani is an African name, might be Swahili. It translates to mean prosperous. Yes. Yeah, I think it's not Fanny. It's Fani. Yes. Neither Trump nor Obama need to campaign for large turnout in 2024. I agree. They tied Trump up in 2016 to 2019, saying he colluded with the Russians to win the 2016 election. They never gave him a chance. I mean, from the minute he took the oath, they were on him. Cambridge Analytica deep digged you into a severe mental handicap. Okay, sweetheart. You're like I said. I hope you're right. Okay. Why do twice as many conservatives watch television with MSM ratings are in the toilet? I don't know that that's true, Larry. You're just spitting out a lot of information.
Why was your mom coming home? Seriously, I'm sure you're not supposed to be on the computer this long.
Oh my God. What I do know is more Americans know more about the Kardashians than they do about their own government. That I know is factual.
Me too. I promise. Me too.
But it's the truth. More Americans know more about what's going on The Bachelorette and The Bachelor.
It's not depressing.
What's that?
I've been watching God's Kitchen for the past 4 days.
But more people can name all the Kardashians than can name their own congressperson.
Of course, because those congressmen aren't in your face all the time. They are, because the news and the media cover them. They're celebrities.
Bingo. And that's what's happening here. Selective coverage of what's going on is all you're not hearing about the Biden scandals, but you're hearing about the Trump indictments. And while they can't, the majority of the media can't not cover the Biden scandals anymore, is every time there's a new information on the Biden scandals, they indict Trump for something else. So, at the end of the day, it's our lives are in the hands of the media, but our lives are in the hands of the future generation, our next generation. It's you. It's the millennials, it's Gen X, the millennials, and now Gen Z. And if they're more interested in getting high and bed rotting and playing video games than they are about their government, America has nowhere to go. We're doomed. And the government, the swamp sees that, and they're coming in for the kill. And that is really the problem. Debbie, Marxist propaganda, e.g., who would take a COVID shot for a donut or a joint or a hamburger? Are you kidding me? That was the beginning of control. Absolutely, Debbie. Howard, if these charges go to trial, it will be televised. Trump and his lawyers need to turn these trials into advertisements for Trump. They need to figure out how to make Trump sympathetic and show what his policies have done and how he has been treated by the swamp and the mainstream media. I agree, that's the play, but the fact that we have to have this as the play is the thing that's driving me crazy. It's, let's face it, both Republicans, Democrats, it doesn't matter. The problem is the entrenched Washington. It's those people entrenched in Washington right now. We have to get wise, and we have to get our kids wise. Did Tucker Carlson do a piece on the mostly peaceful boarding process for the 9/11 hijacker? Oh, come on. Okay. All right. Let's see. Is there anybody?
Well, Laura, I'm not 35, so, and I don't live with my parents, but neither does my son, and he's 18. But you live, are you part of that 47%, Larry?
Oh, yeah, well, poor Larry. It's like the Pharisees in the Bible. They were losing power over the people when people were following Jesus. So our government is now worried because Trump is so popular and chosen by the people. Exactly. You know, I'm reading now Brian Kilmeade's book, The President and the Freedom Fighter, about President Lincoln and Frederick Douglass. And it's an amazing book, and I suggest everybody read it. But one of the things that Frederick Douglass did as a slave was what prompted him and what got him to understand that he was a man and he had value was his ability to read. He actually learned to read alongside the young children that were his servants' kids, his master's kids. And, one thing that he said was keeping people ignorant is more important to a slaver than the whip. And that is what we have now come to in this country. We are keeping our children ignorant. We are keeping our people ignorant. And because of this ignorance, it's easy to sell crap to everybody. And that's
just social media. If social media didn't exist, this wouldn't exist.
Well, they said the same thing about television.
Outlet, because social media made even the news outlets and the Congress people and any politician gain likes, gain followers, gain love. Without the social media, there was a conversation between a Democrat and a Republican. They didn't agree. They went to the dinner table. They spoke about it. The kids listened. They decided what they wanted to be in life, and that was the end of it. It didn't go any further. There was no hate. There was no hate. There was no, look at me. I'm a panda bear. I'm a human dog. I have a whole animal. None of that, because nobody had an outlet. Like Larry, who was his keyboard, the little keyboard warrior over there with no face and no real name.
Right.
They didn't have that. They had to face up to society if they wanted something that was extreme and ridiculous. So I always blame it on social media.
But what I'm saying, Jen, was when I was a kid, it was television that was going to corrupt us, and it did. And then it was cable because we had, 1,000 channels, and it did. And then it was social media, and it did. The problem isn't the stuff because, look, it used to be, and I put up a post about this the other day. Remember the time when they said that people were not intelligent because they didn't have access to information? Well, now they have access to abundance of information, but people are less intelligent now than they've ever been. How many kids actually read books? Books are not even real anymore. Books are all, on the internet or, it's a whole different world. But the world is changing. We have to change with it. The problem is
we're stalling as we're changing.
Well, the problem isn't the stuff. The problem is the family and your morals and your moral compass. And where does that come from? Does that come from God? Does that come from family? Where does it come from?
Well, I believe, listen, I believe a lot of the corruption is social media. You're married, you have a family, you meet some guy, you cheat, you get divorced, the kids are left alone, now you're working 2 jobs. It's because it's easy access to all of the bad things in life, all the vices in life that do not help you succeed. They only bring you down. So
you want everything, and by our nature,
high school sweetheart on TV. You had social media, which is causing destruction in family households. Yep. Kids are watching things that they don't even know what they are, and they want to be it because their parents aren't paying attention.
I want it, and I want it now. Martin Lee, Martin. This is an excellent point, and it's actually ironic, right? Giuliani, the attorney who used RICO laws to imprison many, is now charged in a RICO case. Things are changing. Excellent point. Republican congressmen and women are soft. They should be holding hearings in the House for the 500 riots that happened in 50 Democrat cities for 2 years. Call the Democrat mayors who let the maniacs destroy their cities. But you're right, and that's why Howard, I said it again. I'll say it a million times. It's not Democrat and Republican. We shouldn't be dividing ourselves like that. It's got to be the thinkers and the sheep. It's got to be something else. I mean, we go back to I say it all the time. We are living in demolition man. It really is sad. Okay, Susan.
What's Larry saying? Stop talking about social media. You aren't even aware of preference algorithms. You mean recommendation algorithms? I'm very aware because I own my own social media company.
You don't have to justify yourself to Larry.
No, I'm not.
But right now, Larry's doing a good job for us. These people are so blind to what's happening. The fake news have them brainwashed to reality. This is so true. Didn't Newhart wake up next to Suzanne Plachette in the last episode of Newhart? Indeed. Yes, we know all about the Cambridge Analytica. And there was for no generation. Okay. Larry, you are making me angry. This is my really don't.
Read them. Don't read them before you put them up.
Don't let people who have nothing better to do.
No, I'm not angry. I'm just proving him. He thinks we're stupid. But what he's talking about is what I do all day long.
But that's the liberal philosophy. That's what they do.
I want to know where Larry works.
Probably not even really. It's probably
where do you work?
Democrats and liberals vote based on their feelings and emotions. They only vote one or two issues like gay rights and abortion. They are economically illiterate. Howard, most people vote viscerally. That is from somebody who ran a lot of campaigns. I can tell you that voting is visceral, and people vote most when they're angry. And that's why you're going to see an enormous turnout in 2024. America 2023, tentative times, volatile contention everywhere, every day. Weird gender recognition, legalized shoplifting. We're swelling up. Yeah. Well, let me show you. So we talked about what happens, right, when these liberal philosophies, when you see the real life, what happens with liberal philosophies or the liberals' agenda. We saw the EVs. Now let's take a look at this, letting people out on the street without prosecuting them for theft. Watch this guy. And people want to know why Walgreens is closing. He was using a blowtorch to melt the cases. And let's hear from the Massachusetts governor. This is fantastic on the migrants.
I'm the daughter of an immigrant and believe, as the governor said, new arrivals bring tremendous qualities of courage and resilience to our Commonwealth. They are here, like so many before them, seeking a better life for their families. But the fact is, with the current surge, this is not a crisis that our family shelter system was designed to handle. For months now, state government and our providers have been doing the work of stretching the system as far as it can safely go. But we really need to bring more people into this work to make it a true team effort. We need donations of time, helping with meals, tending to occupants' needs, assistance with kids. Folks are living in small spaces. Gift cards for any sort of grocery or pharmacy are always welcome. Most importantly, if you have an extra room or suite in your home, please consider hosting a family. Safe housing and shelter is our most pressing need. Become a sponsor family. You can contact the Brazilian Worker Center for more information on how you can step up if you're willing to have an additional family be part of your family.
So they want you to take in people who came across the border haven't even been vetted yet. They want them to live with you in your house.
Wait, did they get the thing?
Yeah, who knows? I love the professor. At least he used a reusable bag. He was referring to the guy who was robbing Walgreens. All this to destroy private enterprise, social and economic facilitation towards socialism, and empty cells, just like the former USSR. Listen, it's history repeating itself, and for those, I feel sad for those that don't see it. But again, I'm going to say it again. I hope Larry's right. I want Larry to be right. Larry says that was Walgreens robbing itself for the write-off. Okay. How many is she going to hold?
Was tit.
Yeah, Bobby, that was the big question. How many migrants are they taking in? How many illegal immigrants are living in our house? Exactly. Let's see. Close the border. If you host a family, they will wind up owning your home. Yeah, that's the truth, especially in New York. Okay, how about this? How about the MTA, New York subway? We all know that fare hikes have been going up and up and up. Well, how about this? This is a clog at the MTA waiting to get on a train. Watch. Just in case anybody missed it, I wanted to make sure.
Coming from Queens, Leticia.
What's that?
Migrants coming from Queens going to Brooklyn. the Queens migrants.
I don't care where they're from.
Mark wants their masks on.
That's the MTA, and that's what's going on right now. I mean, so the regular workaday schmucks get to pay, and the rest don't. Well, let's join a California City Council hearing. This is our next generation, and this is what they think about AI.
What up, Council? I'm here to discuss artificial intelligence. AI is going to take all of our jobs and render us useless. And I, for one, am stoked. I hate jobs. I had a job once, and everyone there talked in weird voices. AI is going to 86 all of that. But we'll still need money. That is why I'm asking the government to step up and make sure we're breaded. We are proposing a small payment plan, or small PP, of $10G a month for every citizen so we can party and look hot and enjoy our free time. Now, we can't afford to just sit back and have AI bust through and not have a plan. We got to make sure people have food and houses so we can party and rage in peace. So instruct AI to pay all of us, and then you dudes can retire gracefully before you get replaced, and we'll see you at the beach. The bonfires will be epic. Everybody will be hot.
That's great. That guy. That was a good one. Got them.
He's got the plan. This is the future generation.
No, I'm not serious. That was a stage. I dare you to do.
Absolutely, it was.
Genius.
It had to be. Maybe, but who knows?
He was talking what's his name from summer school.
Whether it was a setup, maybe somebody dared it, but he made the comments at his city. The fact is, tell me, at your age, would you do that in front of the city council?
At this point in life, I might. At this point in his life, I might. It's like the woman who said about pursuing her parents.
Maybe because
she can tell. She was saying, "I'm going to sue my parents for having me."
So social media has now even changed the culture that at government hearings, people are going to do crap like that. Where are the trains behind them?
It wouldn't have been videoed if it wasn't a plan.
Oh, well, I don't know about that. I mean, but maybe I'll go with that. Why are the trains behind them? Yeah, that was that was at uptown to downtown, I think. So fair beating is unacceptable. Biden is artificial intelligence. Yeah, well, yeah, I do know, just artificial. What is he smoking? Yeah, well, again, staged. But this is the stuff that's out there on social media.
He's right. That's basically what's going to happen. Yeah. People like me and businesses, you don't need that. Writers, reporters won't need it anymore.
That guy has to be trolling the court. I think I may have seen him on the Waters World. Yeah, you're probably right. But once again, this is what's happening. This generation is like, okay, I'm going to a city council hearing and watch me. I'm going to get some clicks on my social media by talking, like all this crap at a city council hearing.
Well, watch Black Mirror. There's an episode about social media. It's fantastic.
What's that?
Watch Black Mirror. The show is a social media episode.
Oh, okay. Total insanity. Okay. I'd like to see that guy try torching security devices at Target.
Well, the ones at Target, did they explode?
I like that comment, Larry. Very good. Very good. Larry, you're very useful. I like you on this show. It's good to see you. All right. Oh, this one you'll love. This is definitely a goof, but I thought it would be fun.
So I identify as trans financial, which means that I am a rich girl stuck in a broke girl's body. And that is one of the hardest things that I have to deal with in life. Hardest.
Kudos to her. I'm trans financial too. I think we all are. All right. Did you hear about the Chinese bear? There was a big controversy about whether this bear was real or not. I'm going to let Jen decide whether it's real. Watch, Jen.
Get out of here. Are you serious? Look at his ass. Look at the... Bears have asses.
The Chinese government swears, this became a huge controversy. The Chinese government swears that this is a sun bear.
Yeah, okay.
But it's a possibility. It could be a real bear. You want to know why?
That was a real dog.
Well,
yeah.
Watch this. That was a real bear. All right, let's see. Oh, now this is the Generation Z delivering DoorDash, or this might be a millennial, one or the other. No, not a yeah. Generation Z or millennial.
Fucking come to. If I pull up to your house to make a delivery and you have like a fucking like Blue Lives Matter flag, any of that stupid fucking like Let's Go Brandon shit, like signs about like shooting trespassers, like even like one too many American flags, like your shit is getting left at the end of the driveway. Like, I don't fucking care if it's ice cream. I'm not coming within 10 feet of your home. I am not getting shot by some like Fox News addled conservative who fucking is just waiting at the door with a rifle. Like, it's not happening. You have been marked unsafe. Like, this is what it has come to with you people. Like, you are marked unsafe. I'm not fucking coming to your house. It's not happening.
She'll go to Larry's house though.
Our hairdresser that because her bangs are brown and blonde.
Okay, now let's see what people think about Homo sapiens.
Way to live with the Homo sapiens in a way where we don't, they don't affect us, we won't affect them, kind of like in a separation type of way.
I don't know what a Homo sapien is. If they're going extinct, that's very sad, but at the end of the day, I don't care.
It's not the fact that I don't like Homo sapiens, it's just that we've always lived without them, so we don't know anything at all.
Have you ever seen a Homo sapien?
You don't want to know. Yeah, I saw one once at the zoo.
Describe it.
Furry.
Yep.
Big.
Mm-hmm.
Gorilla looking. He was picking his whatchadilly.
He was?
Yeah.
I've never seen one do that.
Well, I did.
Homo sapiens. Let them die. Save the humans.
During Monday Night Football.
That's America, ladies and gentlemen. This is why I pray Larry's right and I'm wrong, but I don't think so. I absolutely don't think so. But I want Larry. Larry says he's my one viewer on a legitimate platform. Okay. So we're going to pray that Larry's world is the...
And Larry stood the whole time. So what does that say about Larry? Because most of our viewers don't. Dedication, my friend. Dedication. He's an asshole.
He's going to convert us MAGAs no matter what. Looks like the bear ate too many eucalyptus leaves. Yeah. Is that a real bear? And what about pandas? Yeah, well, they said it was a real bear with a big thing. Suburban Housewives for Trump. Oh, come out. Karen. Oh, my God. Make my day. Oh, God. So no tip. No, they're going on strike because they're not getting tipped enough. All college educated. Yeah, the Homo sapiens. Safety, the first discharge of duty at any job, DoorDash or not. Yeah, well, that is true. Safety is true. See you next Tuesday. All right. DoorDash is never being used by me. Love you, ladies. Love you, Larry. Peace and love. We love you, Larry. Thanks for joining.
Larry. My possum's name is Larry.
That's right.
But
we welcome you, Larry, and we welcome your thoughts and ideas. And once again, we pray that Larry is right and we are wrong. But
I love, and he won't do it. But if Larry has some balls or whatever he has, he could be a guest on our show next week.
Yes, he can. Yeah, you can email at lbremaro@gmail.com, Larry. If you want to come on, we'll bring you on the show. All right. Well, we went over as usual. Thank you, everyone. Thanks, Larry. Thanks, Jen. Some DD are proprietors. Some DoorDash. Yeah, they are. Okay. Love you all. See you next Tuesday. Everybody be safe. Love you, daughter.
Love you, mother. Bye.